All right. Fire 'em up. We go live in 5.
Proceed with the countdown.
10,
See if the party reached up.
8, 7,
On to your butt.
6, 5,
What?
4,
Make like a tree.
3,
Get out.
2, 1.
Son of a bitch!
And here we go.
Welcome back to Real Rants, everybody, and wow, was I peeking when I yelled that into the fucking microphone. We are a man down today. Vern had to be a chump and decide to not want to show up. No, seriously.
He used the poor excuse of his car failed on his way to watching this movie, and he's also not here because his car failed.
Get a better car, Vern. I think it was all bullshit. I think
It sounds like an excuse, but also apparently a valid one because he's also not here.
Anyway, my name is DJ Clement, and across from me is Todd Ogredos, and his name is Todd Bauer. Todd,
Hey
say
everyone!
hello. Don't cut me off.
I'm sorry, oh god, I've overstepped my bounds. Please don't hurt me.
If you are listening to this, you are here because we are about to discuss the latest, maybe not so greatest, Jurassic Park movie. Or, I'm sorry, Jurassic World movie.
Yeah, it's a
because
difference.
fuck the park. Like, we've gone global with this shit in the last one. I would say we're both pretty solid Jurassic Park fans.
Yeah, my favorite movie of all time is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Christ, I was maybe 8 years old. I'm trying to think when that movie came out. It was like 93, I think. So, about 9 years old. 8, 9 years old when that movie came out. And I've loved Jurassic Park ever since. You know, sequels, give or take. There's parts of them I like, parts of them I don't. But for the most part, I'm a big fan of the series. And yeah, you expressed you're the same way. You love the original.
Yeah. Like I said, the first is my original. I'm pretty okay with the rest of them. I compare, the Jurassic Park franchise. I found, I compare it to the original Planet of the Apes franchise, where the first one is like a masterpiece, and then all the sequels are of varying degrees. Of good to not so good.
It's a cornucopia of just mishmash stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel the Jurassic Park franchise works as well.
Yeah, it's like the sequels are all okay, but within that, there's some really awesome stuff, and then there's some not so awesome stuff.
Not awesome stuff.
And I would venture to say in this latest one, there's probably a little more not so awesome stuff than awesome stuff. The bottom line is I still had fun. I still had at least a little bit of fun watching the movie. It wasn't so dire and depressing or sour or even terrible as some other reviews have been saying. I think it's middle of the road. It's neither bad nor good. Like I said, it's just there's just some really stupid things in this movie that just make you really go, what the fuck were they thinking? Todd, your thoughts?
You asked me earlier, and I believe my response was I enjoyed this just enough. And like that's questionable because there was a lot of times in the theater where I was kind of like, I don't really know, but it never like angered me at any point. There was no like when I watched Solo and I got really angry at the one part. There's never anything in this movie where I was angry, but there was a lot of like, yeah, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
There was never anything that, and I'll echo that too. There was never anything really that hit the rage switch for me in this movie, or the silent rage, because you can't rage out in the middle of a movie theater. But there wasn't anything until it got to the very end, and a decision that was made, and a character decision that was made, or I should say a character decision, a decision that a character made that really kind of just it like turning the screw of that rage switch for me. And a similar thing happened at the end of the third movie, which when we get to that, I'll bring up that and I'll compare that. So we are, fuck it, let's just go into spoilers right now.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
That alarm gets louder every time.
Christ. So we are in the spoiler section. Obviously, if you have not seen the movie, fuck you, go see it, or maybe not. Come back, listen to the rest of the review, or if you don't mind being spoiled, that's up to you, and we'll be glad to spoil you on a lot of what this movie did not do.
Ridiculous things this movie does.
Yes, a lot of the really interesting, air quotes, interesting choices this movie, the writing had to do in this movie. So, alright, well, let's just start right off at the very beginning. Movie opens up. You got guys working for a company, trying to get DNA from the Indominus Rex at the bottom of a lake at Jurassic Park, at Isla Nublar, which in Jurassic World, the mosasaur was in a self-contained, like, giant lake pond, man-made lake in the middle of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it was like a big tank.
Yeah, it was essentially just a big fucking Shamu tank.
Yeah, it was like if you like amped up SeaWorld, that was the mosasaur tank.
But now for whatever, this thing is on the coast to where you could just drive a fucking sub up to it.
Yeah.
That's the impression that it got.
It seems like such a poor idea to begin with.
Yeah, like how flimsy is that?
We should really have these big doors that this thing could easily escape into most of the rest of the planet.
Oh, but, if we didn't have that, Todd, we wouldn't have a movie. Now would we?
Of course. Who am I to question Hollywood?
So these guys go to steal a bone fragment or a piece of bone from the skeleton of the Indominus Rex at the bottom of this ocean, lake, whatever the fuck. Long story short, they get eaten by the mosasaur or whatever. Helicopter flies away. But they end up transporting the bones of the helicopter, which flies away. My whole thing with the beginning of that, it's probably the best part of the movie for me. It's the best, in my opinion, the coolest looking part of the movie. Only because I thought there was actual like tension that was felt. I never felt tension throughout the whole rest of the movie. And plus, I like some of the shots of there's a T-Rex that attacks a guy, and he doesn't know it. It's sneaking up behind him, and it's dark, and lightning's flashing, and you can see it moving like in between the lightning. I thought that was cool. I thought the mosasaur coming up and eating the guy.
It was a really good.
It was a cool intro for the movie.
It's not my favorite part. My favorite part I'll talk about later, and it's significantly more ridiculous. But this was probably the best like shot kind of thing. Like you said, just you're kind of on edge. Like you kind of know something's up with all of this. Like these guys are kind of in doomed area to begin with. There's a lot of suspense, and like I said, it's shot really well, and it's a cool part.
But it's gonna lead me to one of the issues I have with this movie, whereas the reason why these guys are there, obviously I touched on it before, was to get the bone from the Indominus Rex. Because they needed a DNA sample from it. Now, it's not like these creatures have been living.
DJ is clenching his head
I am
right
like,
now.
I'm
he's
almost
trying. You could see the smoke coming from his ear.
I'm containing my head from exploding scanner style here because this doesn't make sense. They genetically made these monsters, meaning they have to have their DNA on file somewhere. You could just make another one. Theoretically, that one died. Okay, we'll just genetically make another one. How in the fuck do they not have a DNA sample on record? And, like, I guess maybe they were just bored and were like, oh, fuck it, let's just send these guys to go
This is
do it.
like a different company or something?
But it shouldn't matter. They had Henry Wu at the end. He's the one who had all this shit. He's the one who made the Indominus Rex. So you'd think, and especially at the end, we'll get to that, because there's a moment where he's all panicky, like, we need to save all this stuff, all these samples and shit. They did that in the last one, kind of, too. You don't think he took a sample of that Indominus Rex? Well, what the fuck was the whole point of the beginning of this movie? It didn't need to exist, other than the fact, if it's not there, we don't have a movie. And I think it was just a way to have a cool intro to the movie. It literally served no other plot, no other purpose. You didn't need to do that, and you could have started off the movie another way. Mm-hmm. I just think they wanted a cool, let's have a hook 'em moment.
Yeah,
let's catch them. Let's get the audience excited.
Yeah, it's that soft opening that they do in a lot of films. Like, it's like a Bond opening.
Yeah. I'll agree with that.
It's the
Tyrannosaur coming out and turning and shooting a gun.
But it's to entice. It's to, like, kind of whet the appetite. Okay,
yeah,
this is the mood we're setting for this. Let's get everyone in with this scene, and it worked out well because there you want to see what's going on. So it did its purpose story wise.
Yeah, it was entertaining and it was well shot. It was just logically stupid. And then that leads into...
I think that sums up this whole movie. Logically stupid.
It was entertaining and looked pretty, but logically it was the dumbest thing ever. That's pretty much the whole review. See ya, folks. But then that leads into the opening title, which as a designer I have my own feelings about. I'm not... It's nitpicky, but I thought the opening title to the movie looked really fucking corny. The other movies opened up with just, the original, it just said Jurassic Park. That was it. Lost World, it just said The Lost World. That's it. It had some waves crashing behind it. Jurassic Park 3 was kind of cheesy. It said Jurassic Park, then a big 3 slash thing went through it.
God, Jurassic Park 3 was bad.
I can't remember, to this day, I can't remember how Jurassic World opened up.
I don't remember either.
But this one, with the lava spilling in and creating the logo and all that shit, like, it just felt very video game to me. And I know that's being nitpicky, and probably a lot of you will just say, fuck it, whatever. But this is coming from the eyes of a graphic designer and stuff like that, and I just thought it looked a little tacky. But that's just me being nitpicky. So, okay, we got rid of the opening mess, and now we're back introduced to Bryce Dallas Howard, who is now a fucking...
This is something...
She's full-on dinosaur activist now.
That's a character choice that when I first saw, when I was watching the movie, that I was like, really? This is the direction they're taking her character? Well, she was like businesswoman, and I get by the end she's kind of, changed her ways a little,
yeah.
But it's almost like too far removed from her character, as all of a sudden she's like, oh yeah, now we have to protect these wonderful animals.
Yeah.
The ones that tried to murder everyone last movie.
Yeah, there wasn't like it didn't feel gradual, like, because at the end, like Todd alluded to, in the previous one, she was a businesswoman. Then by the end, she goes through that arc. She now realizes, oh, I can't just look at these things as living as money
mm-hmm.
or attractions. They're living things, and they need to be respected and all that. But I guess maybe because of the passage of time, has been a couple years, but it just felt like if you were to watch these movies back to back,
mm-hmm. It was very.
She goes
jarring.
like from like businesswoman to like, okay, I'm still a businesswoman, but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, she's a fucking dino hippie. Like, and I shouldn't say dressed like that, but just the mentality.
Yeah,
is
well, because like
dino hugger.
If you look at like John Hammond from the first movie into the second movie,
yeah,
he does a similar thing, except it's not as like black and white. It's more like you said. It feels more natural.
Yeah.
And with her, it stuck out a little, and it felt weird to me.
So anyway, she's contacted by this mysterious guy who flies her to his fucking like Bruce Wayne manor out in the middle of nowhere. His Dino Bruce Wayne manor, and
The Jurassic Lair.
the Jurassic Lair. Dino Man. Well, there is a Dino cave. There is kind of a Dino cave.
A Dino cave.
And it has a secret entrance too. I'm surprised they didn't slide down fucking bat poles to get to there. So she shows up at this house, this mansion, and there's a younger man that's meeting her. He was the one that contacted her because
Mills, I think his character.
Yeah, Mills.
Eli Mills is his character.
He turns out to be a villain in this story, but we'll get to that.
He's kind of obviously not a good guy.
But he calls her in because the dinosaurs... The whole plot of this movie is that Isla Nublar is exploding, and they want to move dinosaurs off. And the U.S. government and other countries' governments kind of unilaterally decide they're not going to do anything. They're just going to let nature take its course, which was the smart thing to do.
Again, we'd have no movie.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have a movie now, would we? So she's talking with Mills. Mills presents the idea of going there and pulling the dinosaurs off the island and taking them to another island, which is like another kind of sanctuary. Which I don't know why this would have been the perfect time. They could have reintroduced Site B into this because they just could have taken them from Isla Nublar to Isla Sorna and just let them loose. But no, we have to take them to this whole separate sanctuary thing that we built that nobody else fucking knows about. Just like nobody knew about Isla Sorna and the original. But whatever. And then enters in an interesting character. When this dude first came in, his name is Lockwood, I believe.
Yeah, Lockwood.
When he first came in, he's getting wheeled in on a wheelchair. He's a fucking bald head, white, ghostly white hair. He basically looks like John Hammond, a skinnier version of John Hammond in a wheelchair. But it's not John Hammond, it's Lockwood. It's this guy named Lockwood, who was apparently the business partner of John Hammond, who we never fucking heard about.
My old friend and business partner that we've never heard of till today.
Because they kept it a secret, because it's obviously they knew way back when they made the first one that they needed a plot device for the fifth one.
For the fifth one.
Holy shit. They might as well have just made this guy John Hammond. They might as well have just called him John Hammond, because that's essentially who he is. The fucker even has his cane.
Yeah.
He has his, the mosquito cane. Did he pull that from his cold, dead hands?
John Hammond's writing out his will. And to my oldest friend and business partner,
who we've
Mr.
never discussed,
Lockwood, I leave my cane.
Holy shit. But my theory behind that is, and I told you this, Todd, earlier, and I'll tell it to you people now. My theory is that when Colin Trevorrow sat down and wrote Jurassic World, he had this idea for the following film already. So when he was writing Jurassic World, John Hammond was originally supposed to be in Jurassic World, but Sir Richard Attenborough, who played John Hammond in the first two movies, passed away before they started filming Jurassic World. So they honored him in the last movie with a statue outside the visitor center.
He's got a painting in this one.
Yeah, and they have him in a painting in this one. But I have a feeling it was supposed to be John Hammond in this one, but then when he passed away, Trevorrow was like, well, I'll just rewrite this character as somebody else, but he'll essentially just be John Hammond.
Not quite John Hammond.
But again, I had to keep going back to the other reviewer because it didn't hit me until I saw when they were talking about it. How Lockwood kept talking about Hammond as like this. Oh, when he created the dinosaurs, he only saw them as these majestic beasts that needed to be left alone, and the review made me laugh because. No! That was the whole point of the first one. He built a fucking park to capitalize off of them. Spared no expense,
it was
anybody?
Based off of like a flea show.
Yes. Now he may have had some respect for the animals, but it didn't go beyond, at the time of the first one, It didn't go beyond much more than these things can make me money.
Yeah, there's like feed a T-Rex a goat, make it do tricks.
Yes. His own fucking grandchildren were about to be eaten by a raptor, and Alan is shooting. And you can hear the gunshots over the thing, and he's screaming, "Don't! You're gonna hurt my money!" Like, no. Maybe in the second one and later one, John Hammond became the Mr. Humanitarian. And, I think even Ian Malcolm made a joke about that in Lost World. Like, he went from capitalist to naturalist in just a couple years, and he's like, that's impressive. But, no, not at first. John Hammond was a fucking capitalist through and through. Claire gets conned into going to the island to get these animals. They specifically need Blue, the Velociraptor.
Yeah, the last
of her kind
from the last movie.
The last of her kind. They desperately need her. Although they could probably fucking make another one. This is, I swear to God, the two things in this movie, like, they don't need. They could go just create another one. They have the genetics for it.
They need a mother.
Oh, fuck that. But we wouldn't have a movie, would we? So, entering Chris Pratt, who needs to be conned into going, and he shows up. They fly to the island. And then once they get there, they're met by Buffalo Bill, who's Army Man in this one, who has a fetish for collecting teeth.
Yeah.
I don't know, getting into that character really quick so we don't have to go into a lengthy discussion about him. I really wanted, because his whole thing is when he bags one of these dinosaurs or whatever he's doing, he pulls a tooth from them and puts them on his necklace. His chain keeps it like a trophy. And we see him go up to a poor old Stegosaurus and just rip its tooth out. And then he's like taunting the Stegosaur with it a little bit.
Like the most docile.
Yeah, it's like going up to a
ever.
fucking cow and just ripping its tooth out.
Tooth.
Like, but he ends up getting killed in the end when he tries to do it to the Indoraptor. And
yeah, this guy threw me off because at first I see him pulling teeth and I'm like, okay, is he getting like genetic samples? Like, is this for like a reason? And then like later when he's messing with the Indoraptor, he's like, yeah, that's gonna look good on my necklace, and I was like, oh, it's just a thing he does.
Yeah, they didn't. It was such a superfluous explanation as like. They need it's like we need General Bad Guy to do something nefarious here to make people not like him.
Yeah.
Well, let's just he just rips out the teeth of dinosaurs for no explanation other than I need
a
trophy.
What I just realized, just talking about the Stegosaurus, is like, okay, like even if you're like the Great White Hunter and you're collecting teeth as like trophies,
a Stegosaurus?
Yeah, it's like predators. Like,
yes.
You understand, like, okay, all these sharp teeth, like, he's taking down some predators. Yeah, I took down a Stegosaurus.
I took down a Stego. Better watch out. I'm a badass hunter. Like, what's that tooth from? A T-Rex? What's that tooth from? Fucking Spinosaurus? How about that one? Stegosaurus, man.
Stegosaurus.
Better watch out.
You see this tooth? It uses it to grind up grass and foliage.
Oh, did you rip it out of its mouth like after you killed it? No, it was sedated and drugged, and I just walked
helpless.
up. Yeah, I just walked up to it and yanked it out.
Am I not a great hunter, man?
Oh my goodness! I mean, but maybe that's the whole point. He fancies himself a hunter, and he's just really not. But the thing I was going to get to was I was really hoping he was going to meet his demise at the hand of the Stegosaurus. The one that he ripped his tooth out. I thought there would be a moment like, okay, the Indoraptor is going to get him and maybe slice him up a little bit, but he's going to somehow get away. Then as he's getting away during like a stampede, the fucking Stegosaurus is there and just fucking mauls him and spikes him with his tail. Like, that would have been great.
It would be such a, like, cabin in the woods moment where the guy's, like, craving that fish man the whole movie. and except this guy is just, he's pissed off the Stegosaurus. And then, like you said, just by haps, he's, like, laying, like cut up and dying. And the last thing he sees is just a charging Stegosaurus. And that's what we call sweet irony.
Buffalo Bill is what he is in this movie.
A pretty harmless character overall.
Other characters, I mean, Chris Pratt is just Chris Pratt. Again, nothing really new or special from. He's just the same character.
If you know a Chris Pratt character, you know this Chris Pratt character.
Yeah, he really exhibits no different traits from. He's just kind of there. There's no arc for him in this movie. He just kind of is present.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is another thing about this movie is nobody really goes through any arcs. They're just there experiencing shit, and then the movie's over.
I'll tell you the only character that really goes through an arc in this movie is Blue. Is the goddamn raptor.
Yeah, the fucking raptors has more fucking characterization than the goddamn people.
They might as well just say that's your main character.
Star. the techie guy who they got, the hacker dude.
Yeah, he was.
I could care less.
Yeah, he screamed a lot, but he was harmless.
Screamed like a bitch too.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking hated his scream. I know it was there for comedic purposes, but by about the third or fourth time he did it, I was like, just shut the fuck up.
But overall, he's a harmless character.
But I didn't mind him.
He's your Lex Tim.
Yeah, exactly. And even, like I said, I didn't mind his character. His scream was just annoying. And then you had the fucking flexing, we can do it too, female character.
Zia?
Yeah, who, you gotta diversify in these movies. And
again, she was another,
but she wasn't terrible.
Again, harmless character. Most of this movie is the characters are like...
They're just flat.
Yeah, they're harmless.
They're literally just flat. Like, oh well, we need the strong, independent, female type, feminist type in this movie. We need that character, or we need that voice. So let's just put that character in there. Well, what's she gonna go through? Nothing. She's just gonna be there. She's just gonna be snarky the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because that's what strong, independent females are. They're just snarky.
I guess.
Like I said, I didn't mind her character, and that's fine if that's how you want to make characters, but they have to have some kind of progression. There has to be some beginning,
and I feel
and some end, and they don't go through any of that.
Yeah, and I feel the characters, like I said, Blue is about the only character who has an arc. All the rest are like they're kind of there. Yeah, they're like you said, they're pretty flat characters.
You know what it reminds me of now that we're talking about it, because we didn't talk about characters before. It reminds me a lot of horror movies. Mm-hmm. When you look at like a movie like Halloween or Friday the 13th, the original always has the best characters because you invest in those characters. Mm-hmm. And the characterizations are always so good. They're going up against this faceless killer like Michael Myers. You don't need to know much about him. He's just there to kill. Much like in Jurassic Park, you had all these characters, and the dinosaurs, who are characters themselves, were basically there to just come in, cause chaos, death, whatever. Now the dinosaurs it's like the role reversal like of a horror movie where somebody like Jason becomes the main attraction of the movie. The dinosaurs are now the main attraction, the main stars of these movies, and these characters just get pushed aside to where they're basically just two-dimensional cutouts.
I never thought of that, because the first movie, like, the characters are great, and you feel for them, and like, you're scared for them, and things like that, and it is exactly what you said, is because they've invested in these characters, and part of what I love about the first movie is, like, the wonderment in it, is that where you have suspense and kind of horror elements in it, like, you also offset that with, like, this, like, child-filled wonder in it. And that really explains a lot of it, I guess, is all just in how you feel for the characters.
And you have beautiful moments in that first one, too. Like, you're going through, like, even when you're going through the park, when they first go on their safari, they're going around, they're not seeing anything at first, but you have a beautiful moment with the Triceratops. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh my god, you see, or with first it was like the Brachiosaur.
Yeah, and they try
and then you see the majestic and beauty, and then you get the horror aspect where it's like, oh my god, a fucking T-Rex and Dilophosaur.
And they even try to, with the Brachiosaur, they try to mimic that in this movie.
Yeah.
Where the Zia, who is a paleo veterinarian.
A paleo vet who has never worked on a dinosaur. She's never seen a dinosaur. Seen one.
So when she gets in the park, they do like they're by the old, like the visitor center from Jurassic World, and this thing just, the Brachiosaur kind of lumbers in, and she's like, it's gorgeous.
And it somehow snuck up on him, too.
Yeah.
A fucking Brachiosaur.
Because the Brachiosaur is a small dinosaur.
Yeah, because it's stealthy.
But, so they try to mimic that, but I feel it falls a little flat because it just doesn't have the power that the first one did.
Nothing in this one has the same impact when recreated from that original. And I think that's only because the original was the original. That was the first time we had ever seen something like that. So when you get that first moment when they're all in the Jeep and they're looking at something like, holy shit, and then you see this giant majestic dinosaur, it's a holy shit moment. Like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that right now because I still remember being in the theater as a kid watching that and just being in utter amazement, like, the thing, like, that looks like it's real, it's there, like. And then you put yourself in the situation of the character in the movie, like a guy who's just thought dinosaurs were dead for years and now they're back to life, and like, holy shit, it's right here.
Exactly. This is a moment in this man's life.
And his reaction to it is perfect when he's stuttering. He's like, that's that's a dinosaur. It's such a great. You have great moments like that, and you can relate to that. There's nothing really relatable about these characters in these movies. Even in the last one, maybe the little kids to an extent, you got a little more humanization.
To a minor extent, yeah.
But I don't find, like, I like Chris Pratt in these movies. I think he's entertaining. Mm-hmm. I just don't find him really relatable. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a dinosaur whisperer. Yeah. How many of us are that? He's not an everyday person.
Yeah, he's a manly man dinosaur whisperer.
So, like, when he's in danger, I really can't feel the same way, and especially when Bryce Dallas Howard, Claire, is in the danger, I can't feel the same way. It's just the characters are they're just so flat. Mm-hmm. And like you said, case in point, when they tried to recreate that Brachiosaur moment in this movie, it just didn't do it for me. It's like, okay, we've seen this before. Mm-hmm. Oh, a big flat foot comes down. Oh, here's a Brachiosaur. Like, yeah. And maybe it's just
we're
just used to it. Like, it's just kind of like we're desensitized to it.
Maybe. Well, they lampshade hang that in the last one.
Yeah,
where they're like, people are used to dinosaurs now. We need something bigger and worse. So they hint that they kind of know that's happening. And it is. So we're talking about the 5th installment now. Yeah, like, so it isn't going to be the same.
Exactly. Like, the more you do, the less like magical it is. It's sort of like old hat at this point. Okay, dinosaurs, we get it. Like, I could look back on the original movie and think of so many iconic moments from that movie.
Yeah.
With the T-Rex busting out, the Dilophosaur eating Nedry, stuff with the raptor. There's so many moments that are so iconic. Even in The Lost World, there's iconic moments in that. The T-Rex is pushing the thing over the cliff. Mm-hmm. The tall grass with the raptors, and you can see them beelining towards. There's iconic moments in that. In the third one, even, like with some stuff with the Spinosaur and the birdcage, the pterodon birdcage is the best part of that movie.
And this
Jurassic World. Maybe it was the stuff with the Mosasaur, and stuff with Blue was interesting. But in this movie, there's not... I've only seen it once, though. But I really can't point to a moment and be like, it's like a defining moment for the movie, or like that's such an iconic shot, or
the best I could think of...
that it transcends.
The best I could think of a moment like that is when the whole island is exploding and whatnot.
Which, we were about to get to this point where they get all the dinosaurs off. But I think I know where you're going.
But there's a shot where everyone's going away and she looks and there's a Brachiosaur that can't get off the island, and it like rears up right as like it essentially does its pose from the first movie again, but it's like.
As the lava and the fire is all coming in.
You see the fire coming in, it gets engulfed with smoke, and that's about the closest I feel to an iconic.
And that was a really cool shot. And it did tug the heartstrings a little bit.
And I guess the other closest one would be like the Indoraptor reaching for the girl or something like that.
Yeah, okay. I will say like the Indoraptor on the roof of the house reaching down and unlocking the thing. That was kind of cool.
That's even shades of... There's a lot of shades of,
and that's
of other
the original
first film.
Yeah, where the raptor
like
opening the door.
Opening the door and walking and clicking its claws and it's running at it, and the girl's trying to push the thing down like in the original.
Oh yeah. It's true. I did like that though, that they kept that aspect of the raptor when it's walking around thinking.
That menacing.
You hear the tapping of the toe, like it's thinking. You could almost visually in your head like picture the thought process of the dinosaur, like what's it, like where the fuck is this person, like just processing. But yeah, it was a callback to the original. There was a lot of callbacks to the original, and even the Lost World in this one. It almost feels like this weird amalgamation. I can't remember how you pronounce the word. This weird sort of just hybrid of all the other movies just combined into like a mess. Literally just a mess. So, spoilers again. Nice guy, young guy in the beginning who wanted the dinosaurs off the island, really wants them off the island to weaponize them and sell them to the highest bidder, which I got flashbacks of Batman and Robin and the Ununited Nations bidding for Bane.
United Nations. How the hell did I block that out of my memory?
That's essentially what this is. They just took Batman and Robin, the Bane scene, and fucking threw dinosaurs in there and said, let's just recreate that. Let's just do that. Like, I picture him with like the toys, like, I'm gonna sell you off to fucking Nigeria, to the bad leader of Nigeria.
The bad leader of Nigeria.
And then we get Mr. Russia, who Russians bad. Like, we're back in the Cold War.
I like the Russian guy because he was so incredibly Russian.
Yes.
Or they're like, yeah, here's this dangerous mofo. And he's like, yes, I will buy a Raptor.
Holy shit, he couldn't have been any more Russian if he fucking came out looking like Ivan Drago. and just like
it's playing
bathed
like
in a hammer and sickle.
Just playing that Soviet music as he walks in. I will get raptors for my tacadons.
Oh my god, I need the tac raptor. Wolf and squirrel have nothing on a tac raptor. My horrible Russian accent, but and again, like, that's where this movie takes an odd turn. I think me and you discussed it earlier. Once it gets onto like with the house, it's this weird sort of like horror.
Yeah, see,
like you said, gothic.
It's
horror.
It feels like a vampire movie.
It's like a whole
or
other fucking movie,
or like a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I don't know how I feel about the first half, because I felt the first half was so Lost World that it really took me out of the first part of it, because the whole time I'm like, okay, this is exactly the same, and it felt like cut and paste from Lost World, and I wasn't even that crazy about Lost World to begin with, so I feel the second part was the more interesting part, but also the dumber part.
Yeah, I can agree. I'll agree with you there. The stuff on the island, while not really interesting,
it made sense.
It made sense and still felt like Jurassic Park to me, Jurassic World, because you're in this otherworldly place with dinosaurs. Now you bring them into our world, and it becomes a little more interesting because the plot twist that happens about the selling, okay, it's a little more interesting, but it also gets way more convoluted and just dumb. And, my god, like, so they leave the island. Okay.
We're coming up on my favorite part of the movie.
My head's about, the smoke is coming out again.
We're coming up on my favorite part.
So they retreat these dinosaurs back to the old man's house, back up to Wayne fucking Manor from the beginning, where not John Hammond is at. They keep them all locked in the basement, and how the hell he didn't know any of this was going on? Like,
he's a very old man.
There's a fucking full-on genetics lab in the basement. There's all this other... It's literally like Resident Evil with the Hive.
It is.
It's like this house, like the Spencer estate out in the middle of nowhere. Then there's this big fucking laboratory underneath of it. And how the hell he didn't know any of this shit was being constructed under there? Unless he knew and it was there, and then... But anyway... So he doesn't know what's going on. His business partner, the younger man who controls all his money, wants to sell these dinosaurs to the highest bidder so people can use them for war and weaponize them or whatever the fuck it is. And there's a brilliant moment in there where they're like, well, people, we've used animals in war for years. Just look at the horse or the elephant. But yeah, that's because it's for transportation, not for attack.
Where the herbivores come in. Just ride in on an ankylosaurus.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, ride in on an ankylosaurus. Just ride in on a Parasaurolophus, which I don't know if you know what that is. It's the big the horn. Yeah, the duckbill horned one.
Of course, I'm a dinosaur kid. Of course, I know what it is. In fact, my favorite part. I'm gonna get into my favorite part in this. Is my all-time favorite dinosaur had a very large role in this.
The Packy?
The Packy. Which, I don't know if it was directly a Packy. It could have been a closely related species.
Yeah, another
but it was close
relation,
enough to a Pachycephalosaurus, which is my favorite dinosaur.
They're so great.
And the fact that, like, a small chunk of this movie turns into the wacky adventures of Owen and a Pachycephalosaurus is fantastic. And that, like, all the other... except for some of the herbivores, like the stego and all that, are kind of harmless. But all the other dinosaurs are kind of like bad guys. But they have like this part with this Packy that breaks them out. Like Claire and Owen get trapped in the cage or whatever. They get thrown in there by the bad guys. A Packy wakes up and it kind of lets out of there, so it starts smashing the wall. And every time he whistles, it smashes something. And so it breaks out, and then eventually he sicks it onto all the black market people.
Yeah.
And you just see, like, people flying up in the air from this Pachycephalosaurus, just chucking them everywhere, like, ramming through them. And it's so ridiculous, but I had to love it because it was finally, like, a starring moment for my boy.
What does it say about their dinosaur enclosures that they could just let a small Packy could just bash its head through a fucking concrete wall and escape? These things are supposed to house like tyrannosaurs and raptors.
That's what they didn't think. They just underestimated the pure might of the Pachycephalosaurus.
I guess that Packy has like fucking Captain America or Superman strength. It's just gonna punch a hole through a fucking wall. Now, granted, they show it was over time, but we're not talking like a course of a day. We're talking like minutes.
A course of 5 minutes.
That it somehow it bashes its head through like a solid like maybe
a concrete wall.
Yeah, like a 2 or 3 foot concrete wall. Like fuck, man. All right, I guess if that's the way we're going with this, the movie just sort of this is where I think it kind of starts circling the drain. Circling the bowl, as it were, because the old man eventually figures out what's going on.
No, his granddaughter tells him first.
Yeah, his granddaughter. Well, the granddaughter tried.
We haven't even gotten into the granddaughter yet.
Oh, we will. The granddaughter tries to tell him what's going on, but he like shoos her away.
Yeah, we'll talk about her tomorrow, Maisie.
So then she gets ushered back up to her room. And then the old man, I guess, does he immediately ask for the younger guy to come up then? Or does something happen?
Yeah,
because somehow he just knows and is like, I can't, this is the part of the movie I can't remember. I may have like mentally checked out for a few minutes. But somehow he knows what's going on and wants the younger guy to stop. So the younger guy goes up there and just fucking smothers the old man.
A part I liked in there is because he's like, well, now you'll do the responsible thing and call the police. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. And then he's going to do it. Why didn't he just do it himself?
Yeah.
Hey, there's something fishy going on up here. Would you mind coming up here and helping out?
Iris, come up here and call the police for me.
No, I'm gonna make you learn a valuable lesson, young man. If you want to still run my lemonade stand, you're gonna call the police and turn yourself in.
I'll teach you the value of $1.
Yeah, where'd that get him? We got him a fucking pillow to the face, and his John Hammond cane shattered.
John Hammond canes.
Jesus Christ! And then
this movie was so dumb.
And then his granddaughter finds him later on, like, she sneaks out of her room because she was locked there. Locked there by now angry businessman, father figure, dad thing, whatever the fuck he was supposed to be. She escapes. She goes to her grandfather's room to try to alert him, like, Grandpa. And, he's dead. It's kind of a little sad moment, she realizes her grandfather's dead. But then she sneaks off and, like, sneaks away. And that's the last you ever hear of the grandfather.
That is.
It's never addressed again. She shows up later. Claire and Chris Pratt find her
I like
in
not
the
calling him even by his characters.
because he's just Chris Pratt. They find her in the dumbwaiter, like in the basement, because apparently this old antique dumbwaiter can go all the way to this new high-tech basement that was built.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, man? You talk about plot convenience. It goes all the way down there, and
it goes into like the genetics lab and like
a
animal.
dumbwaiter.
Yeah, it's just like, in case we need milk later.
Yeah, in case you get hungry for some milk and cookies while you're genetically creating horrible theme park monsters. But yeah, like it's this whole new sci-fi lab, and then there's like this rickety old dumbwaiter that goes down there for some reason. And Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard find her, and she's all crying, and I'm sorry, nothing Chris Pratt says if I was a child would have gotten me out of that dumbwaiter, because he sounds like a creep. He's like, you look like you need a friend.
I'll be your friend.
I'll be your friend. You know what? You know who say that? People who lure little kids into white vans. Those are the people who say that.
Hey, Timmy, you look like you need a friend.
I'll tell you some funny stories. Get in here.
I've got dinosaurs in my van.
Gotcha, bitch. Door slam and you're gone. I'd like, whoever
this
wrote
review
that.
took a dark turn.
But seriously, like, when you, like, who writes that? And Chris Pratt didn't even think of that, like, while saying it, like, you look like you could use a friend.
He needed to, like, Harrison Ford that shit. Like, no, I'm sorry, this dialogue is not good. I need to change this.
I need to call an audible on this one. Like, there was nothing else they could have said. Because it almost made me uncomfortable watching the movie. I'm like, that's like a molester. I'm like, he sounds like a pervert molester. But whatever, that's just me being stupid. But it came off that way. So this dumb waiter goes down to the bottom. They get her out, and the grandpa issue is never addressed through the rest of the movie.
We don't care
never
about
once.
him anymore.
I guess because he was such an important part to this story.
Like most characters in it, he was kind of so flat that he dies and you don't really care.
And what about the nanny, the mother, or whatever?
I took care of both of them.
Dude just tells her to go away, and guess what? She goes away. She's gone out of the fucking movie forever. We don't know what happened to her. It's like she just walked into a void and disappeared. Like
she left, called the police on herself, and got taken away.
She was assumed into movie heaven because she fucking Jedi ghost disappeared, and you never heard from her again.
And she just fades away, and then the audience just ignores that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there was a nanny here. Because that's what this movie does. It sets up characters and it just fucking knocks them down like bowling pins, Because that's what I thought when I saw them. I'm like, what happened to the old lady? Like, there's no resolution there. It's not like they showed her going to her car and maybe getting attacked by another dinosaur.
Or like the Indoraptor
killing her. I have to believe there was probably a scene cut out. I would like to believe this. There may not be. Because
our
as we learned,
may be way too high here.
Because as we learned before, Colin Trevorrow is such a genius. I would like to believe that there is a deleted scene where we see her either meet her demise or we see her leave. But but in this movie, I have to only go by what I see on the screen. There was nothing. This character just fucking vanishes.
You're just dismissed.
Yeah,
literally
dismissed out of the movie. Yeah, here's your check. Go away. We got all your scenes. Bye. You're no longer needed in this movie.
And that's a wrap.
You have no more screen time or speaking roles. But okay, Indoraptor comes out. The whole point of this movie was to get Blue back to this place so they could build an Indoraptor, which is a combination of the Indominus Rex, which they had the bone for, the DNA from in the beginning of the movie, and a Velociraptor. So they wanted to bring Blue back. At first, you think it's because they need her blood, but apparently it's because because we're retconning certain aspects from Jurassic World now, where she now senses empathy, which I never saw that in Jurassic World once. So they wanted her nurturing motherly ways to raise these things, to learn how to take the commands of human beings.
What they were doing is basically like if you get like a puppy while you got an old dog, the puppy will take on traits from the old dog. It's essentially what they wanted to do, was make Indoraptors and have them like learn from Blue. It seems okay in practice. Because the prototype, they even call it a prototype.
Yeah.
Of the Indoraptor. The bad guy dinosaur. It's literally just villain dinosaur.
But the one thing too that you never see with the movie, and one of the aspects of the Indominus Rex that you saw once, was the cuttlefish aspect, where it was able to blend in with the environment. You never saw that once with the Indoraptor.
Well, and even in the Indominus Rex itself, they even note that it's a part T-Rex and this and something else that's mysterious. And then you find out that, of course, that mysterious part is Velociraptor. So it's already got Velociraptor, and they're just like, turn that up. Like,
Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about that. That just makes everything more retarded.
Just turn the volume up on that Velociraptor part.
Oh my goodness. It's like they just did a fucking, 360, 180. We need, think about that. Okay, we make the Indominus Rex. It's part T-Rex. Literally, okay, aside from cuttlefish and all that shit. It's part T-Rex, part Raptor. Now, we want to make an Indominus Raptor. But we need to get the DNA of the Indominus Rex, which was already part T-Rex, part Raptor. And we want to put it into this thing that we're going to make part T-Rex and part Raptor. Oh my god! The mental gymnastics you have to go through to make that sense.
Yes. Turn up the Velociraptor.
Literally just go into a computer or into a vial and be like, you know what? That's 90% T-Rex, 10% Raptor. Let's make it more like 80-20 Raptor versus T-Rex there. And then let's see what comes out. They didn't need any of this other shit. And that's what I told you. Well, again, going back to the beginning. They already had the DNA on file. They didn't need the fucking bone in the first place. But then we wouldn't have a goddamn fucking movie. Goddamn, the more I dig into this, it's like just digging through levels of shit. Sedimentary shit.
It is beautifully maddening.
My view of this movie might be... It might start going down now. I mean, it was still entertaining, but I guess it's almost turning into Transformers now. Check logic at the door. And just switch your brain off like a vegetable and just watch the pretty images go. So Raptor busts out, kills some people. That's about it. The villain of the movie kind of goes out.
Well, we find out we haven't gotten into.
Oh shit, we haven't even gotten into the little girl. I'll let you explain. I've been babbling this whole time. Todd, you take the wheel from here because I need to cool my brain.
All right, so we learn about Maisie as the little girl's name. And the whole time, she's never met her mother. Her mother died when she was little, or so we know. And the grandfather, not Hammond, is always clenching like a scrapbook.
Oh, scrapbook.
Clenching his ass.
So that's where they're pulling all this shit from this movie out of his ass. Just like the character.
So he's always got this, and you never see the daughter or anything, but she's got the nanny that always compares her to her mother. Well, then we find out later that she, after Grandpa dies and we never hear from him again, he
literally goes to heaven.
She opens up the book and she finds a picture of her and her grandfather that she's never seen before. So we kind of start to figure out wait a minute, there's something here. And then later in the movie, they blatantly just she's a clone.
Because Expository Man comes out. Yeah. It's like, do you know what she is? Well, sit down and let me tell you a tale.
Let me tell you exactly what she is. She's a clone. She was created 5 years ago. So you find out that she's a clone. So what drove Hammond apart from his very good friend that we've never met before was that obviously this guy missed his daughter so much that they cloned a human being. So cloning humans is on the table now.
Yeah, that Pandora's box is now open.
So she finds this out, and she's all kind of emotional about it, I guess. And it's something that pops up, but they don't really, like, Owen and Claire kind of like...
They just gloss over it.
It's a clone, but she's just a normal person. We'll treat her as such.
And the way, like... And this is where I'll get into a little bit of shot choices in this movie, because there were some very interesting shot decisions and editing decisions, I'll say, made in this movie. When they're talking about a clone and like, oh, you don't know the capability or blah, blah, blah and stuff, they're zooming in on her eye, and it's almost like they want you to, like, the perception I got was like there's something dormant inside. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like they because of what was being said, juxtaposed to what was being shown. It's like they were alluding to this like dark hidden secret that's inside of her, this dormant thing. Like, what is she like? She gonna fucking turn into a dinosaur or some
she's
shit?
heart raptor.
Like I expected, I shit you not, I expected the eye like to blink and it would have like almost a reptilian looking eye. Like maybe
blinks.
when,
It's like in Men in Black where the guy blinks and then blinks again.
Yeah, it's like blinks and sideways blinks. I honestly thought like they were going to allude to something like that. Like they were tampering with creating like genetically superior human dinosaur hybrids, which, believe it or not, was part of a script for Jurassic Park 4, which thank fucking Christ they didn't make. That was yes, it was stupid.
So,
but that's what I thought they were going down that road. I'm like, oh no,
no.
And
here's the thing I thought. Well, like because they say like.
And think really quick. Thankfully, that's not the case.
Yeah,
it was just a weird shot.
Yeah, and what I thought was weird was that like apparently Hammond and this guy split up because he cloned it, but she's only like 5 years old, and Jurassic Park happened like 25 years ago, and like so like we would have heard about this guy.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, yeah, putting the timelines together. And
even if that's the case. Like, they were barely creating dinosaurs back then, and a human is a little more advanced than a dinosaur.
And they never addressed either, like, did he clone maybe his original daughter was a clone? Or genetically created, and then they just cloned her?
I
That's never addressed. It's like they fucking...
think it's worth putting that much thought into.
No, it's really not. At this point, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, so at this point of the movie, like, they're getting... hunted. The Indoraptor is like hunting them like a slasher film.
Yeah, this suddenly turns into fucking like House on Haunted Hill. Not a House on Haunted Hill, but yeah, it turns into a slasher movie with a dinosaur as the slasher.
Yeah, well, it felt like a werewolf movie or something. It's very it's dark and it's raining
and creeping in through the window like fucking Dracula or like you said, like Wolfman or something.
So they like trick it up on top of the roof and. Like, it's getting ready to attack them, and it breaks through the... Like, they try to trick it into breaking into the roof, and it still, like, catches itself. And then Blue appears out of nowhere.
Deus Ex Machina Blue comes out of nowhere and fucking hits...
Like, knocks it down and impales it on a T-Rex... Or not a Triceratops skull.
Yeah.
And Blue, like, is perfectly fine after that.
Yeah, and visually, and that's the thing. Visually, this movie is very pretty to look at.
The whole part is interesting.
Yeah,
shot.
There is nothing wrong with the visuals and the overall direction of this movie.
It's all in writing.
It's all in service of a really shitty script, and just really poor choices and no character development. So yeah, evil businessman bites it. Kind of anticlimactically at the end.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
But he does so as due to the result of one of the dumbest decisions ever made by somebody in a fucking movie.
Oh, here we go.
And this is where I'll start to rant.
As if you haven't been ranting.
Yeah, if we haven't been ranting already. But this is where we'll take it up a little bit of a notch. The dinosaurs are being let out initially by Bryce Dallas Howard, because for whatever reason now she's like, dinosaurs need to live. There's this gas. There was an explosion that happened before that's letting this poisonous gas. It's like CO2 kind of gas, and that's killing off the dinosaurs. It's toxic gas, and she's letting them out of the cages so they'd have a fighting chance or whatever. And she's letting them all out of the cages, but then there's like this big gate at the end that she needs to open to let them all out into the wild, onto the mainland, because nothing wrong would ever come from that. So she lets them all out of their cages. They're all like kind of congested in this like common area, and they're trying to get through the gate. They're trying to ram through it, and they can't. She's about to open up the gate, and then she has second thoughts, because Chris Pratt even tells her, once you do this, there's no going back. You can't, basically, like, you're opening up Pandora's box. You can't put the cat back in the bag, sort of scenario. So you think she's going to do it, she backs off. Smart. Smart. It's sad to see these dinosaurs die. It is sad, but you have to think of the betterment of the planet at that point. So you think everything's okay, then all of a sudden the doors open. And the camera looks behind Bryce Dallas Howard's character, and it's the little girl who hit the big red button, lets all these fucking dinosaurs out. And her excuse is because they're alive like me, and they deserve to live. They just want to live. And so she lets these fucking things out and basically is the catalyst for destroying the fucking planet. And I fucking hate it because it's supposed to be this yay moment, the dinosaurs live.
Like
But in reality, no.
They build it like it's some kind of triumph.
heroic moment, and
like,
it's not.
You're like, yeah, the dinosaurs can be free now, and then you're like,
then you realize,
the
oh my god,
dinosaurs are free now.
Yeah. They're free to fuck your life up now.
Like, how many people did they kill on one island?
And this would have been different if they maybe would have moved these dinosaurs, and this is where I'll do a little bit of rewriting. If they had moved these dinosaurs to Site B, or even to the sanctuary like that guy had said, we're going to move these dinosaurs to that sanctuary, you could have had it on a whole other island. You could have had this whole facility on that other island, and then same shit kind of happens. You let the dinosaurs out, they're just free on the island again. They're on a sanctuary island. They're free from the people who wanted to kidnap them or whatever and turn them into war machines. And then that's it. They're free to live out their lives. But the fact that you're doing it on the mainland, and it's supposed to be this big yay moment, hooray for animals and blah blah blah. No, and they're all okay with it too. Like
That's like
there's
saying,
no
like,
like
we got this lion. It's there's gas leaking into its cage.
let's let it loose on the zoo.
Like, let's just open the gates to the zoo.
Yeah, let it go. Fuck it. Fuck people. Like, I love animals like anybody else. I'm a big animal. I'm not like PETA crazy about animals. But I love animals. And yeah, there was hard, like, you see the brachiosaur die in the beginning. That would tug on the heartstrings a little bit. Especially even in Jurassic World when the Rex is killing the long-necked ones for sport, and it's like dying. Like that was sad.
Sauropodosaurus.
Yeah, like that was legit like sad. It was almost making me like tear up a little bit because it was such a sad moment. This is the complete opposite of that. Like, yeah, it's sad to see these dinosaurs die, but for the betterment of the planet, you have to let them die. And this fucking little bitch is like, I just want them to live, and she hits the fucking button, lets them loose. And nobody cares. It's like the ending, like I alluded to earlier. It's like the ending to Jurassic Park 3, where they're leaving the island on the helicopter, and they're flying away, and they're watching pterodactyls, and they're all like, "Look at that! Look how pretty! Pterodactyls flying away." Alan Grant just mentally is just checked out at that point.
He was done.
He's just along for the ride now. It's Miller time to him. He don't give a fucking shit. He's like, well, oh yeah, they're off and finding new nesting grounds. Like, motherfucker, those are dinosaurs. Like, fucking shoot them down or something. Like, oh my god, that's what the ending to this movie, it pained me. Like, as much as I enjoyed it, and as much as digging through it now on this review, really exposing a lot of the ugly flaws of this movie, there's still an enjoyment to it, but the ending was so fucking dumb.
And they did that because they wanted that sequel.
They wanted it's sequel bait for sure.
And like even the end, like Ian Malcolm is in this.
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum comes back for like 10 minutes tops of screen time. But he in the end he's even like, oh, welcome to Jurassic World, and you're like, oh boy, a title drop.
Oh yay, we got the title.
Yeah, and so like you see like as he's like talking through this and making his little speech in the end, you see like a T-Rex like roaring at a lion, and you see like blue in the suburbs. Yeah,
and you see a mosasaur attacking fucking surfers.
Like surfers. So it's like well, we're just gonna have to live with these dinosaurs now.
Yeah, there's no plan. It's not like there's any plan to eradicate these things. It just ends with like everybody. Well, they're a part of our world now, I guess, and that's the world we're gonna live in. It's very, like you said, it's very sequel baity. None of the other Jurassic Park movies felt as sequel bait as this one did.
None of them, felt that way at all.
They all kind of felt like they had a definitive end.
Yeah.
It just felt cheap. Like the ending just felt cheap.
Well, and then so after that, can we get to the stinger?
Oh, the stinger, which I apologize to my girlfriend right now because she saw the movie before I did. And I know she's probably, if she's listening to this, she's probably fucking cursing me out the whole time. She told me about, stay after the credits. There's something after the credits. Make sure you stay. So I was thinking, cool, what are we going to get? Is there going to be a scene like, is Dr. Grant going to come back in a cameo? Or some of these other characters going to come back? Maybe a Timmy and Lex cameo or something? And then what we got was probably the most underwhelming piece of footage I've ever sat through a stinger for since maybe the shawarma scene at the end of the first Avengers.
Yeah, it made like the Captain America thing at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming look good.
Yeah, like it was just what it is. To let you know, you see pterodactyls come flying in and they land on something. At first I thought it was like a buoy, like out in like an ocean or something like that. But they land on this structure, and when they keep pulling back, you realize, oh, they landed on the Eiffel Tower. And then they pull back, and it's not the Eiffel Tower, it's an Eiffel Tower. It's the one in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's the replica at Paris and Las Vegas.
And so I think one of them takes off and flies down, and then they cut to this shot of like a helicopter view of like the strip, and pterodactyls flying down and like attacking people, and then that's it. It goes black. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier. You had a brilliant idea for what the stinger, they shouldn't have even
used,
and they probably even shouldn't have used that at the end of the movie. They just should have cut the movie off with Blue, hooting or whatever at the suburbs. Roll credits. Save this scene for a teaser trailer for a teaser for like another year, another year or two down the road.
Exactly, and I was telling DJ earlier, this was my idea, was to like literally like reverse this and use it for a teaser for the next one, which I think would be like a fantastic teaser. Is what you do is you see the strip, and then you hear like as you're going through like that sky of you hear more like commotion. And you
screaming, people
screaming,
panicking,
and like sirens and stuff. And then as you keep going up, you go up the tower more and more, and then right as you get to the top of the tower, pterodactyls land, or pterodons land, and you see them just kind of land and like look towards the city or something. Cut it to black. Jurassic World. The dinosaurs kick our ass now.
The dinosaurs kick our ass now. The dinosaurs get theirs. That would have been so much better as a teaser for a new movie.
That would have juiced me for the next movie.
And I'll even expand on that. I'll go director mode on you. Picture this. Okay, you're in the helicopter view, you're flying down the strip, you're going down, you're looking over top of it, and you hear the commotion, you see people running and stuff like that, like what you were alluding to. Police sirens going off, people running, and then you start, like you said, you start heading towards the tower, you start the camera is from looking down on top of people, it starts slowly panning up as it's going up. You start going up the brim of the legs of the tower, and then when you reach the top, like you said, you see pterodactyls landing, like, oh shit, it's fucking pterodactyls attacking Las Vegas. Then the camera rotates around and starts pulling back, and you see a fucking, 1,000 pterodactyls circling around, dive bombing people and shit like that, then cut to black.
Yeah.
That would be the fucking bee's knees of a fucking teaser. Cut to the logo, name of the movie, coming next year.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking tease it. The end, the way they teased it, and it still maybe could have been cool had they done that and left it at the end. But it was what it was, and then it was the way it was shot and edited. It looked like it was just hastily thrown together.
Yeah.
And it just felt kind of like, okay, they're attacking Vegas now. Like, it seemed like a shot that was probably meant to be in that little montage of Ian Malcolm talking, and they were going to cut to it, and, with the Tyrannosaur roaring at the lion. It felt like it belonged in there, and then they're probably like, no, let's give them a Marvel stinger at the end, and we'll cut this and leave it at the end, and for the people that stay. And it just felt like,
like most of the decisions in this movie, it was dumb.
And it just ill-conceived. It was half baked. No. We're about to wrap this whole thing up here. I'm trying to think.
What a good review this has been.
The only thing we really didn't talk about are the special effects in the movie. I thought they were really good. They were on par with what you would expect with a Jurassic Park movie.
There was nothing that seemed too bad.
No, I don't think there was anything
good special effects.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that was cartoony, bad looking. Because sometimes even I think it was in Jurassic Park 3, there were times where I was like, "Ooh, that doesn't look that great." It just looked a little too robotic or something like that. The special effects really held up in this, and that's something I expect almost out of a Star Wars movie. You expect the special effects to be great. Marvel movie, you expect the special effects to be great. So Jurassic Park, I expect the special effects to be really good. They were really good. Good use of digital and practical, because I could tell they did a lot of practical stuff too. But no, wrap it up with final thoughts. Todd, you go. What were your final thoughts on this movie before we close out?
My final thoughts, like I said, even as we've gone through this, it is a dumb movie. It is not a good movie. I don't feel it's the worst Jurassic Park, but it is dumb. And I saw it roughly about a week ago, so it's had a week to congeal with me. It gets that fine layer of gravy skin on the top of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But if you want something dumb that you're gonna have a fun time, picking apart, kind of like how we did, this is the movie for you. I would suggest seeing it. If not, because I'm sure there'll be another one if you want to see that for it to make sense. So, if you're a fan of Jurassic Park, go see it. If you want to know what's going to happen in oncoming movies, or where the last one was headed, what direction the last one was headed, go see this. It's, like I said, most of it's harmless. It's dumb, but it's harmless.
I'll echo a little bit of the same. I thought the movie was entertaining. Picking it apart a little bit more here now, you peel back the thin veneer of a fucking story and script that the thing had, you realize just how kind of just, I don't want to say rushed, but just how kind of ill-conceived this movie was. And if they do another one, I hope to God they spend a little bit more time writing.
Yeah, I hope they step up the writing a bit.
I don't want Colin Trevorrow writing the next one. I think he's really dumbed down the franchise. Like, Jurassic World wasn't bad because he had the bones of the original to play around with, which is what he did. He just made a pseudo remake of the original.
It was a pretty good
This
paleontology metaphor, unintentional there.
Thank you. But this one, it was his own original story, and I use air quotes for original because it felt so much like they borrowed shit from the other movies that I don't know. And you know, Colin Trevorrow, for as much as he got praised for Jurassic World, even though he didn't direct this one, I think he needs to equally share in the blame for the story, because this
definitely the story and characters were the weakest part of this.
It was I say so bad. There's been worse. It was just I'd say very average, and it felt almost very fan fiction. Like, it didn't seem like legit. It felt like something somebody would have came up with on the internet, like just writing a fanfic. But all that being said, the movie is entertaining. I did have a good time watching it. I didn't watch it in eye roll vision like I may have done with some other movies. But no, this one, it was fun to watch. It just wasn't great. And it's definitely not the worst in the franchise. I would watch this probably over Jurassic Park 3. And that's about it. I think I would take the other. Like, Jurassic World, I would put slightly above this one, but I think The Lost World and the original are still creatively and story-wise a little head and shoulders above this.
First one by far.
Oh, the first one is in a fucking another galaxy. But, you know, it is what it is. It was a fun movie. Like you said, if you like Jurassic Park, I would recommend going to see it. It's you may not have, you don't really need to rush out to go see it. It's not one of those types of movies. It's not like Avengers where it's like, you gotta see it now, or even Deadpool where it's like, you gotta see it now. You gotta take your time with this one. I know it's already been out a week, but it's gonna be around for a little while. It's making fucking oodles of money. So it's easily gonna be around for about 2 months, I would say. You could take your time and kind of go see it. But beyond that, I got nothing really more to say about the movie.
I think we've said enough.
Yeah, you know, I want to say expository, but I've talked more than I needed to over this thing, and like I said, I came into this like really happy to discuss this movie, and now like really thinking about it, it's like, holy shit. There's so many things wrong with this movie, but
I hope we watch it a couple more times and find even more.
Oh my god, I'm sure we will. It doesn't stop here. You can just keep digging.
We should do a review in like a year from now.
Oh god,
and rewatch it and just see how many more things we found wrong with it.
Jesus Christ, it'd probably be a laundry list. But that'll conclude this edition of Real Rants here on the Cosmic Octopus channel. If you've stuck with us this long, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Let's get those subscriptions up there. Let's get those views up there too. Come on, people. We're human too. I am DJ signing off.
And I'm Todd. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening to us just bitch about this movie. I didn't want to bitch. I didn't want to bitch about this movie, but I ended up turning out bitching about this movie. That is it from us here at Real Rants and Cosmic Octopus. Take care, everybody, and go try.
Yeah, peace out.
Holy shit. God damn.
What a good review.
Like, I honestly, like, seriously didn't think I would fucking, like, just rip the movie into, like, and that's not even full rippage.
Yeah.
I mean, we've ripped apart